Thank you, Chairman Cruz. We are here in the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing room today to talk about the protection of internet freedom. That is an aim that I believe everyone in this room, respective of their partisan stripes, would and will support. But I'm going to take a moment and talk about what should be happening in this committee hearing room. A hearing on the President's nominee to the Supreme Court, Chief Judge Merrick Garland. Until February of this year, I would not have thought our obligation to consider a sitting president's nominee to our nation's highest court would be a partisan issue either. Yet as we sit here, 6 months has passed since the president nominated Chief Judge Garland, 6 months without a hearing of this committee, 6 months since the president nominated someone, and 6 months since we've had the opportunity for this nominee of impressive intellect, experience, and character to answer questions before the American people. There's also important work I believe this subcommittee has left untouched so far. Last month, Senator Whitehouse and I sent a letter to Chairman Cruz asking for an oversight hearing to consider whether our existing criminal statutes and federal court jurisdictions sufficiently protect our American elections from the interference of foreign entities. And since then, there have been even more reports of cyber attacks targeting multiple states, boards of election systems, and warnings of this growing threat. Unfortunately, the subcommittee has not yet responded to this concern, and it appears there may not be any such hearing in advance of our November elections. Instead of dealing with a vacancy on the Supreme Court of the United States and foreign cyber threats to our upcoming presidential election, both issues which, if unaddressed, threaten the foundations of our constitutional democracy, we are here relitigating a complex and important issue, but which the Senate has already reviewed in great depth. We are here today to have a hearing about the transition of the IANA or IANA functions to a multi-stakeholder community. The Senate Commerce Committee, on which the chairman also serves, has had 2 full hearings on this topic in this Congress. Stewardship of the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, or IANA, relates to the technical coordination of names, numbering, and protocol parameters. And under its current contract with the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, or ICANN, the NTIA, an entity within our U.S. Department of Commerce, verifies that established policies and procedures are followed whenever ICANN processes changes. Once it's performed that verification, NTIA authorizes the implementation. The transition about which this hearing centrally is concerned would remove NTIA as an intermediary in this essentially clerical process, allowing the process to be completed more quickly. It is not, as many or some have suggested, the United States giving up ownership of the internet. The United States does not own the internet, and that bears repeating. Today, the United States does not own the internet. And transitioning of this internet management function that our government has had a small role in performing to a non-governmental, non-UN group of technical experts is a process that has been ongoing since 1998 across both Republican and Democratic administrations. It is important that we execute this transition properly to ensure the security of our economy, our homeland, and our fundamental value of freedom of expression. Done properly and openly, this transition can enhance our credibility on the international stage and allow us to continue to play a leadership role in keeping the internet free and open for decades to come. Delayed without good reason or done improperly, we miss a key opportunity to demonstrate our leadership in the internet. That's why, since 2014, a multi-stakeholder community made up of businesses, many leading American businesses, technical experts, academics, civil societies, and associations have engaged in a thorough and rigorous process to chart the course of this transition. The community's held over 600 conference calls, exchanged over 30,000 emails, and I want to thank our witnesses today and especially thank those who've been a part of this process. These stakeholders have carried out the important task of ensuring the transition plan satisfies key values laid out by the NTIA within our Department of Commerce, and those are briefly 4. Supporting and enhancing the multi-stakeholder model of internet governance, maintenance of the security, stability, and resiliency of the internet DNS, satisfaction of the needs and expectations of the global customers and partners of IANA services, and the maintenance of the openness of the internet. NTIA has stated it would not accept a proposal that replaces its role in the IANA functions with a governmental or intergovernmental solution. So after this labor-intensive, multi-stakeholder process over many years, the plan proposed by the community has not only garnered the approval of the NTIA, it has the support of technology companies, industry groups, and civil society organizations who share our profound interests in the freedom, security, and economic opportunity represented by the Internet. So, Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent that a number of important statements and articles in support of this transition be entered into the record.
Without objection.
There are many. I will briefly mention that there is an open letter to Congress signed by Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Dell, Facebook, Intel, Cisco, HP, the Internet Association, the Internet Infrastructure Coalition, the Internet Society, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, articles from former secretaries of Homeland Security, chiefs of staff, ambassadors, 7 civil society groups, and many others. This is an important part of the record of this hearing. This is an important part of what this multi-stakeholder community means. Household name, global internet leading companies founded and headquartered in the United States. The internet is the public square of the 21st century where ideas are exchanged and viewpoints debated. It's also a marketplace for global business, and as one of the leaders of the Senate Global Internet Freedom Caucus, I know we must engage with individuals, the private sector, and other governments to work to preserve the internet as an open platform for both commerce and communication. There has been a lot of charged rhetoric about this transition in recent months. I am eager to hear from our witnesses and move beyond the rhetoric and to understand in detail how this transition can protect U.S. interests, ensure the security and stability of the DNS, and promote the ability of free expression and global commerce to flourish, one of the most profoundly transformative opportunities and technologies of our time. Thank you.